For today's TB Tries, we're going to try and build a road. And here you see a road in progress in Bahrain. Oh, joking apart, where are we going for our 5,000 steps today, Neil? We're going to walk down here outside our apartment, New Tower, which you saw on the previous villa, all the way down this walking path, which at this time of day is fairly safe, but it can be very dangerous in the rush hour because cars drive down it to avoid the queuing traffic. Then we're going to go over this roundabout junction here where I've nearly had many accidents because people omit to use their turning signals. And then we're going to go right down to the end down there. So just to show you the joined up thinking that goes on behind these videos, vlogs, here is New Tower, which is where I live. And underneath there's a shop, restaurant, and my car sitting outside in the middle there. And in a second I'll show you my apartment from the outside, but we're going to go down this path here to Prince Salman Bin Khalifa Park. My apartment is on the 14th floor. It's on the front side in the middle column, so you can just about see it, this one here. So I have a lookout on this sea, these apartments where we're going now, and the American naval base, which is straight ahead of us now, and I can also see Prince Salman Bin Khalifa Park. Over here is the Coast Guards, the detention centre, the Azri shipbuilding yards down at the end. So this is quite an industrial area over here. Straight ahead is Prince Salman Bin Khalifa Port, where a lot of the container ships come in. And then, as I say, over in the distance over here, Jufair. When you look at this piece of land that he's stood on, and he's kind of stood, you know, below the surface, if that makes sense, you can see that it's just all construction material, rubbish. You can see bottles sticking out, plastic, cardboard, pieces of wood, pallets, you know, and then these cars are driving on the top because they like to go out to these unexplored areas. This whole area is completely deserted. It's 11:30 in the morning. There's not a single person on the whole of this path, which probably goes about 2 kilometers down towards the ocean at the end. But at night time, this place is packed. There's lots of these little food stalls here. This one is selling sugarcane juice. And of course, people park their car on the footpath, you know, complete disregard for all things. It's a bit of a difficult place to get to, like a lot of places in Bahrain, and it's constantly expanding. These new apartments here have just been finished up at the top, and you can see there for rent and the numbers on the side. Because that's the problem, they keep opening these new apartments, but there aren't enough people to go into them. I just want to show you this, I just noticed it. 11th floor up, it's a 12-story block, mine is 14 stories, and someone has got the most beautiful bougainvillea on the balcony. And I bet you it loves the sun there, because this is facing the sun in the morning and looking out over the 5th Fleet, the American Navy. I wonder how they got it up there. Chester said to me yesterday, I didn't want to cut anything from your video because there was so much interesting stuff on there. So here's an interesting fact. Did you ever think about this? You have 2 floors of car parking, and of course cars emit carbon dioxide. That's how people kill themselves, by locking themselves in the garage, and then the carbon dioxide poisons them. So how do you prevent people being poisoned in a big car park where you've got a lot of cars coming in and out when it's indoors, not outdoors, and it hasn't got any fresh air? Well, here's the answer. I hope you can see it. Maybe Chester will put a little red arrow to point it out. On each floor of the car park at each end, there are huge big fans that extract all the fumes and then funnel them outside. So just to prove it's actually me that's walking along and recording this, this is where we've come so far. And you might think, why is he wearing his mask? He's walking, he's exercising. Well, it's to keep the sand out of my mouth because it's blowing and it's getting in my eyes and it's getting in my mouth. So I got my Gucci sunglasses. Did I tell anyone I had Gucci sunglasses? And my mask, by calling Durero, of course, to keep the sand out. We're nearly at the park now, so let's go and have a look at Prince Salman bin Khalifa Park. Noor Tower is right back down there. So we walked all the way down here, and now we're here at the park, which, as I said, is built on this reclaimed land. Again, just to update you, when I first came here, you couldn't go down this part here. This has all been built on, and they've got it all illuminated, and you can see it from my apartment at night time. They probably have various different events going on here. I imagine there was something going on National Day. So I promised you a couple of stories from the park, and here we go. They can't keep me out, just a wire fence. So this wire fence is the first story, actually. When the park first opened, there was no facilities inside, no cafes or restaurants, which there are now lots of. And so enterprising Bahrainis would come down here on this sand, park, reverse park against this little low wall, and then sell food to people in the park over the wall. Biryani or, you know, matchboos or different Bahraini foods, which made me laugh. And they also have some dinosaurs here. There's some little dinosaur rides just over here. Don't know if you can see them. I want to work for a marketing company in Bahrain. They have the hardest job. You know, we had Hid Heights earlier, and this one's called Park View. There are a couple of restaurants underneath, or cafe. Al Rawaya Cafe, and this one's all in Arabic. I don't know what it's called, but it has a sign with some food outside. But of course it's closed. Okay, so let me give you the latest update from Rose Cafe. There's actually two Rose Cafes. One is inside the park, which is closed until 4 p.m. And then the second one is here directly opposite. It looks like it's closed. It's got City Rose Cafe on the top, and it's actually open. And I just had a very nice little meal in there. So I want to show you this block of flats down here because they fascinate me. So let me give you the whole picture. One of the things about Bahrain is that they don't have enough shopping malls. It must be low tide now, and it goes, you know, quite a way across. You can also see in the distance here the iconic Manama skyline. This is a massive block of flats. See how close to the water it is? So I've just checked, we've done 4,000 steps, which is fantastic. Our target for the day is 5,000, and we have at least 3,000 steps back to New Tower. So I'm going to stride off on my way back to the tower because the time now is 1:35. Okay, so here we go on the way back to Noor Tower, and we're just with the park just behind us now. Lots of people arriving in taxis and other people wanting to go to the park. There was two ladies and a little boy all being turned away because it doesn't open till 4 p.m. And you may remember on the way down here I showed you the sand drift. An interesting little story for you. I saw the guys digging when they were building the Babcock modernisation plan, and they were hand digging holes. Burying cables. They're putting these red markers on the ground above where the cables run every so far distance, so that if they do come and do work down here and they're digging up, they can see these two, or I can see three from here, red markers, and they think, okay, that's where the 220 volt cable, remember there was a substation back there, so presumably it's running down to supply electricity to those buildings down that end. So at least it makes it a bit safer when they're working, because you can actually see these.